Hi, everybody. Welcome to Godly Play. I wonder if things at your house at the moment are sort of the way things are at my house. I wonder if the grown-ups in your life are running around trying to find bank statements and receipts and letters and all kinds of things, because this is March. And in March, I start thinking about taxes. It's not something I like to think about, but it has to be done. So at the moment, I have all sorts of things spread out on my dining room table. I have receipts. I have bank statements. I have check registers. I have a great big box of stuff. I don't even know what's in there. And once a year, I have to get all of this stuff organized, and then I take it to my accountant. It takes me a whole day at least to get it ready, and then my accountant does something with it in like 4 minutes, and it's done. You know, Miss Becky knows how to do these taxes. Miss Becky is smart. In any case, I started thinking about taxes, and I remembered that there's a story in the Bible about taxes. Did you know that? There is. It's in the 22nd chapter of Matthew. It starts about verse 15, and I'm going to read it to you. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to read because my eyes are not working very well, because I've been looking at all these receipts and check registers and letters and numbers and all that sort of thing. But here goes. Matthew chapter 22, starting at verse 15. Then the Pharisees were sort of priests at the temple, and some of them did not like Jesus, and they were always trying to trip him up. Then the Pharisees went out and laid plans to trap him in his words. They sent their disciples to him. "Teacher," they said, "we know that you are a man of integrity and that you teach the word of God in accordance with the truth. You aren't swayed by men because you pay no attention to who they are. Then tell us, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" Caesar was the emperor. But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, "You hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used to pay the tax." They brought him a denarius, and he asked them, "Whose portrait is on this, and whose inscription?" "Caesar's," they replied. Then he said to them, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." When they heard this, they were amazed. So they left him and went away. I always like that story. I sort of like stories where Jesus shows people that they can't trip him up. As hard as they try, they never manage to do that. And it got me to thinking about a few things. What is it that we give to God? I think we think about that a lot in church. We give our time. We go to church. Some of us go to church a lot. Some of us sing in the choir, and people work on presentations and work on committees, and our talents. So if somebody's a really good cook, they might help out with making all church dinners, or somebody who's good at accounting is probably on the finance committee. And we give money too, because the church needs money to be kept up, and the people who work there need to be paid. But I started thinking a little bit more about what we owe to Caesar. Of course, we don't have Caesar anymore, but Caesar was just a way of saying the government. So your parents and I and Miss Becky and most adults that you know pay taxes. I don't really mind paying taxes because the money goes for some important things. It goes to build things like roads and bridges, and it goes to help people who can't take care of themselves perhaps as well as they might like. And just recently, within the last week, the government decided to give a very large amount of money to help people who've been hurt by the pandemic, all sorts of different ways. Money that goes to people directly, but also money that helps people that might have businesses that have really suffered because of what's been going on lately. And I think that that is a perfectly good use of my money, and I'm happy to throw in my share. I do think you have to be careful that Caesar, or the government, is using the money to do things that are good. That's why it's important to pay attention to what's going on in the government. Because when you're old enough, you get to vote. But to vote, you need to understand what's going on. And that takes sometimes a lot of paying close attention. So, hopefully, all the grown-ups in your life are not too stressed out. Hopefully, it will be spring soon. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of people vaccinated and we'll all get to see each other again. And I will say goodbye for now. Goodbye.